Coach, you had tough 2 matches this weekend, falling in the 5th set to Notre Dame and Syracuse. Can you give us a recap of the weekend and talk a little bit about those 5th sets?
Yeah, both matches followed kind of a similar script in terms of our play. We had a really good week of practice this week. I was really happy with the way the team trained. There were a couple of specific things that we were working on that we had addressed that we really wanted to get better at. And I think that showed in both matches. Certainly defensively, there was a real change in the quality of our defense. And at times, offensively as well. We're not the biggest team in the conference. We're not the tallest team. We don't jump the highest across the board. There's styles of play that match, the particular personnel that you have, and there's a particular style that we have to play to be successful. And I thought both matches we were able to do that for extended periods of time. But we aren't consistent with it yet. I was happy with the improvement. I thought we were building to play some of the best volleyball that we've played during the year, but we aren't consistent with it yet, particularly in crunch time. That 5th set against Syracuse, we're up. It's a tight set all the way through, and then we get to, I think it was 10-10. And then 11-10 for them, and we were lost 4 straight points, get up to 14-11, and not being able to close it out at that point. We really got in that little mini run. They scored 5 straight points. We got away from the style of play that had gotten us the success to begin with, and that's a sign just of unfortunately just a young team, and there's no way to rush that. They got to go through and experience it before you learn the self-control to not let the score or the environment or the situation influence you in the wrong way.
And you have senior night this upcoming weekend. Can you talk a little bit about the seniors on the team and their playing careers?
Yeah, it's funny. There's such a different group here. Like each one of them has such a different history. In the middle, Melissa McTighe, she's through just a unique set of circumstances. She's ended up playing virtually every match of her career. Sometimes that was due to injury. Last 2 years, we only had 2 middles. So she gutted through it regardless of how she felt or how she was playing or injury. She just played it through. This year, we've had more depth in the middle, but she's just had a great season. It's been tough. She's really been a leader for us and a pretty consistent player. So really been happy with just how she's developed, particularly this year. Her growth her senior year has been fantastic. Alex Troby came in that same class with Mel and has really kind of figured out what her role is and how to maximize that role in the team and within that has been a really good leader for us. And she's, over the course of this season, she's really evened out her play and turned into a pretty consistent performer for us. Relative newcomer, Amanda Yerke, graduate student, just joined us this year, so she hasn't gone through her career, and she's had maybe one of the more challenging paths that I've seen. She played for 2 years at Michigan and then didn't play for her junior and senior year, and so she sort of came out of retirement to play 1 more year here while she's getting a master's. That's a really tough thing to do, and so for her, there was the double challenge of getting her skills back, but also just physically getting back into elite Division I shape. And she's been fantastic, and doing it all through a broken foot. She's got a stress fracture in her foot that she's just played through the pain of it. So I've been really impressed with her maturity. She certainly brought a lot to the team as she's kind of worked her way into the lineup. And then Chala Shen, who joined us as a freshman setter from Turkey, and just had feel for her. I mean, she's a fantastic setter, but dislocated her shoulder every year, and last year towards the end of the season, in a pretty innocuous setting and warm up, fully dislocated it for the 3rd time, and so unfortunately that put an end to her career. But she's been very helpful in the program this year. She handles a lot of our video coordinating, and has been fantastic, and just a wonderful person and a wonderful leader, even though she's not contributing as a player. So all four of them have had very unique and different stories, but all four of them have been fantastic. We'll be sorry to see them leave.
And lastly, can you just preview the matches this weekend against Maryland and Pittsburgh?
Yeah, so this will be the first time this season that we'll face teams for the second time. And that's always a bit interesting because you're a bit more intimately familiar with the team you're playing. When we went down to Pitt in Maryland, we felt like we did not play our best volleyball in either one of those matches. And they were competitive at times, but we didn't show up with the game we wanted to play. So I think everybody's a little bit hungry now to, number one, to play against them and put a bit better footing out there. And also, given the results this past weekend of 2 losses that are about as close as you can get, to keep pushing this week. I think there's a motivation in the group that we are on the right path, and the things that we worked on last week really did show up. And to be so close and not get rewarded with a win, I think in this case it's going to be really motivating for this group to push through and get past that, because they realize in the last 2 weeks we've been playing our best volleyball of the year. We need to just keep pushing through that.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.